Okay, my name is Eunice Adhiambo Mari.
My name is Bilha Nyaboke Ombati.
My name is Samuel Mushemi.
My name is Stephen Ochieng.
So my name is Erica Godo.
I'm a teacher.
A teacher by profession.
Currently teaching in junior secondary school.
A teacher in junior school. Mental health is the state of well-being of a person that enables him or her cope up with stress and work effectively in the community.
When a teacher is sober, very ready to do work in the perfect way possible as it's supposed to be done. That is what I understand by mental health.
Okay, so to me, mental health refers to the emotions of a person psychologically, because it will affect how a person feels, how a person behaves, and even how a person makes choices and decisions.
Mental health deals with so many things. It deals with the critical thinking of a person, state of well-being, and also awareness, state of awareness.
As a teacher, it means a lot because that area or topic is very important, since everybody is dealing with something in the society at a particular time.
The mental health of a person is important because it's going to affect how they feel, how they relate with others, how they cope with stress, and how they make decisions and choices.
So first of all, I want to say it's a big thank you to Kewota for organizing such a very wonderful work where all the teachers across the nation are coming together, discussing about the challenges also that as teachers we are facing.
It's a very good initiative because me as a member and my colleagues from various schools, we are eagerly waiting for it, because it is not only working but coming together from different areas, meeting different people, personalities, expressing ideas, sharing even the difficulties one is facing.
And this work will expose the teacher to be specific, to organize themselves and have a place or a venue whereby they can share on the challenges that they are facing in the profession.
Because it's going to bring a lot of teachers together, and when they come together, they're going to interact, and while they're interacting, they're going to share a lot and how they are able to cope with the issues at school, how they also are able to cope with the issues at home. And with that, through sharing, one is able to get encouraged through such things, because you get encouraged with a person who shares the same field with you.
Na kama Waswahili wanavyosema, upweke ni uvundo. You cannot make it alone. You cannot manage everything alone. So it's giving us an initiative where we are coming together as teachers and seeing it as a very good initiative where we are putting the right consideration on how we can cope with mental health.
There's something interesting I've picked up when you said about guidance and counseling, eh? And I was wondering, how do you pick out? Are they qualified? Do we have like psychiatrists who are teachers?
No, I think it's
interesting from their perspective. How are you picked to be the head of guidance?
This what is the belief of a teacher service commission. When teachers are being trained, at least they are normally offered basic counseling units in the university, and that is what they ride on.
When were you in university?
I graduated in 2019, but again
things have changed.
Yeah, things keep on changing. It becomes the effort of the teacher now to keep on upgrading himself or herself, and I think TSC does not offer anything for you to upgrade yourself. In fact,
say that loud.
In fact, they say that they only recognize your first degree. Anything on top of that, it's your own effort for you to get maybe go to greener pastures. But how I wish that they could find ways on how we could have professional counselors within these institutions, because you cannot do much as a teacher because of the primary role that you employ to do of being a teacher in class. So I know you people know how people juggle balls, and if you're not a good juggler, then you'll end up with nothing in your hands. So you'll either you lose your career, or you lose the students, or you lose yourself. So it's quite challenging. So if teachers are able to see the need, personally I've seen the need, and occasionally I've been able to upgrade myself, and that's why I joined KK Water 10,000 steps as from last year. And currently I'm building up some mental health garden at school, whereas teachers can have spaces within the school. They can go and maybe try to meditate and check out within themselves. We are also having what we normally call bibliotherapy, where we have access books that talk about mental health issues. Teachers can come in, borrow the books. Students can also access the books, and the entire school community. Because I believe that the school community is one of the biggest community that we have in the entire world. And luckily enough, last year, as they were doing the AGM, they introduced me to a very good partner, and currently we're building up a mental health dedicated website. It's called Headspace Diaries. So where teachers can access information. Teachers, we are trying to, just the same way Kewata is doing, we're trying to look for partners who can come on board, whereby teachers can get qualified counselors on board to talk to and maybe address their issues. So it's upon the teacher, as you say, to be himself and to try and work out his own issues, so they don't wanasema usipoteze unga their own issues. So but I believe with the good cooperation and stakeholder engagement, I believe teachers will be in a good way to make sure that we have beautiful societies. You and maybe you heard this, you're saying that it's because I normally say the inner child. I normally give this example. When I was growing up, we were never fed through that nice bottle that children are normally given now. And I tell my friends, sometimes I feel like buying it. I just go at home and make some porridge and put in it so that I can just have it and see how it feels like. Just suck it. That's the inner child in you. Yeah. That's an inner child. I come from a community. I think you know the Kalenjin community, and you've seen how they feed their babies. So imagine a baby that was fed by closing the nose and forcing porridge into their mouth, and then sees that nice bottle. What do you expect of that child? Yeah. So already they are handling some issues. I believe if you are able to make our inner child happy, and then you can now start navigating these issues slowly by slowly. But you can't do it alone. You need someone to hold your hand.
It takes a community.
Yeah.
Maybe if I can say something about the structural challenges. If we are addressing it at the national level, you'll find that when the Teacher Service Commission was made an independent commission, it, put itself in its own corner with its own policies, and there is no relationship between the TSC and the Ministry of Education.
They work independently.
Yes, and the Ministry of Education is so obsessed with the quality and results, if I'm right.
Yeah.
Teacher Service Commission is in charge of teachers. Promotion, whatever. So now, when these two institutions do not have a place where they can come together and say, for the results to be good, the teacher has to be well mentally.
Yes.
So that really needs to be addressed in a way in which the Ministry of Education and the Teacher Service Commission need to prioritize the health of the mental health of the teacher, so that the quality of education can go up. Another structural challenge that we have is that most organizations which support mental wellness programs, that I'm talking about the UN agencies, will not want to deal with single organizations like us. So most of the funding they will like to take through government. And if in terms of teachers, they'll take the funding to the Teacher Service Commission. And I think I have told you this story. Yeah? So I think there should be that kind of change. Again, I think you raised a very important point about we have this constant change in education policy. We were with 844, we killed it, we went to CBC, we are killing it, we are going to CBE. And teachers are meant to keep up with these changes without sensitization and training. So that is one of the major structural problems that is causing mental illness.
Yes.
Because a teacher is expected to perform on a new before I talk about the gadget, on a new curriculum, which nobody has told him. Truth be told, many teachers are teaching 844 in schools. Am I right or wrong?
Yeah, that's the methodology,
That's
because
the methodology
that's what we're
they're
taught in
using.
university.
That's what you know.
That
That's
is
what you
I
know.
mean,
And then you're given some, I don't know, what do they call them? They're given some 2 or 3 seminars on CBC.
And
Have you
that's
been
it.
trained on CBE?
Once.
Do you know? Okay.
No, not CBE. CBC, we were
You
trained
don't know
once.
So not
CBE
yet
and
on
it's on.
CBE,
CBE.
yeah.
Yes, it's going on. So that is a very serious structural problem, and the direct result of what is happening in the ministry is mental illness, because the pressure from there's a pressure from the parent. One of the pressure from the parent is that CBE is demanding that you teach students how to cook chicken. And when you tell the student to
Interesting.
bring chicken, and it is cooked and people eat, it is said that the teachers are eating
The chicken.
That already is a mental
an issue.
wellness
It's a mental
problem.
wellness
You
problem.
see? And then there are no equipments.
Yeah.
You cannot succeed in CBE if you do not have technology. That technology is not there. Even in the last regime, they talked about giving students the tablet. But what did they give the teachers? Nothing. So how do you teach? Are there, is all the teachers, do they know about AI?
No.
You give me an assignment, I'll do it in 1 minute because I got there. And the teachers do not know how to correct the information that has been given, created by AI,
To humanize it.
to humanize it. Many do not know. They have not been trained. So you get a kid who is not the IQ is not high, always getting 95%. You make them into a doctor, and of course you know what will happen. So there are so many structural problems that must be addressed, because the pressure is not only from parents, it's from the ministry, it is from the Teacher Service Commission, and the load is too much, and there is no infrastructure. So we are working like, I don't know what to call it. This maneno ya Ministry of Education, I don't want to say much because I don't want to be attacked, but something is not right somewhere, and the person who's paying for it is the teacher. Yeah.
Because when you mention that, I'm imagining a teacher in Garbatula being transferred to Nairobi, and one from Nairobi going to Garbatula, or and they had all the gadgets, you know, and then they go there and they're supposed to do the same thing.
Yeah.
So how does that work? I mean, that's where the suicide, I think, comes in. You know, and if they're not well, they're not prepared to have those kind of changes. Then I guess the culture shock must be really.
I think we talked about the culture shock. There's a lot of shock on it.
There's a lot of shock, and the other thing is about the policies that are being created. Most of them are not gender responsive. Like, I signed it, you must go to Turkana. I can't, my family is here. No, but you signed that you shall work anywhere in this country. So, you either go or you lose your job.
And there again goes the mental unhealthiness.
And when we do not train and sensitize heads of institutions how to handle teachers, then something really bad is going to happen. Let me give an example. During Magoha's time, and I think they were there, may God rest his soul, they were in the ministry with Mr. Matiang'i. They brought in something called, how to monitor teachers. How to monitor the way teachers are doing their job. What they are supposed to do should be human. But what is really happening on the ground is that staff rooms and classrooms have CCTV. Right or wrong?
Yeah, that is one of the recommendations of the ministry. The staff room, the classroom should have a CCTV. Which has an audio.
Which has an audio.
Oh no.
You can imagine that staff room environment. I will not speak my mind. The tension is there. And one of our staff went to visit a school just last week or the other week. And when they went to the administration block, and they were talking to the head teacher, the thing the head teacher could show them was the CCTV of a teacher who was teaching when they are drunk. Some of the people who went are actually here. And this was not the first time. The teacher has been called many times. CCTV has shown you are drunk. Stop it.
How does that help?
Then again, CCTV keeps catching this teacher. When the teacher will be caught drunk 3 or 4 times, what do you think is the result? They will be taken to the BOM and they'll be interdicted recommendations. So that is a very, very dangerous. I don't know where the CCTVs are supposed to be, but I can imagine in my office, even our where we work, we put CCTV, but it is outside or in a place. It focuses on a place where you want, like maybe the finance department or something. But it is supposed to protect the offices where you are.
Yeah.
But here you are, there's a CCTV which is listening to your voice. It is a mental illness issue. I don't know where to stop with this, but something needs to be done. In a nutshell, I'm saying there should be a stakeholder meeting. That brings all stakeholders together to address the mental issues that are affecting teachers.
Okay, so now I'd like us to wind this up because clearly we can talk about this for ages, you know. And I'll start with you, Daktari. What is your wish list when it comes to teachers and mental health? What does that look like for you as a teacher,
as a
psychologist? Sorry.
My wish list will be that teachers need support. And the support will come in proper set support systems, where a teacher can go and not be stigmatized, not be judged, and just be free and go and talk about what is ailing them, and just be open and seek help. Because when a teacher is not well, even the students in schools will not be well. And also another wish list is open communication. Open communication between the top management of the school and the teachers. That a teacher should be able to go to the principal and say, today I'm not feeling okay. I feel I cannot handle my class today. Can I get a reliever? Because teachers are not machines. They are just human beings like any other person.
Okay, thank you for that. Molimo, I'm sure yours is very, very long.
I have so many things going on through my mind. One of the things is that as much as teachers are looked at the light of the community, but at the same time they should be allowed to be human. They should be allowed to feel just like any other person feels. They should be allowed to break down emotionally, just like any other person can break down emotionally. And I feel like institutions should provide a safe space for that. A safe space where that teacher feels like I have a community that cares for me. Even if I'm emotionally low, I can still go to work and I'll have someone who will take care of me. Let's have these institutions prioritizing our mental health and not stigmatizing it, because some say that it's quite challenging to explain someone how you feel emotionally. You are the best person who knows how you feel. So I believe your explanation should be in a little way final. If you're not well, you're not well. And if you're well to do your work, you'll be able to do it because they'll show results. So if teachers are allowed to be teachers and they're allowed to just be like any other person and guide our students in the perfect way, then I believe you're going to have a very bright changed society where teachers feel loved, where teachers feel cared for. And these teachers, if they're loved and cared for, definitely our students are going to be taken care of in the best way possible. A clarion call also to our employer. We love what he's doing with TMEC, but as the CEO says, let them do something more practical. Let them bring it closer to us. We love it. We feel like teachers, they really want to take good care of us, but let them make it a little bit more friendly to us. Let them act in ways that we feel they touch our lives. And let them feel the pain we feel with these students, and let them walk with us in each and every step.
Okay. Madam CEO.
Okay.
I'm sure yours is very long as well.
My wish list is very long, but I will summarize it this way. One, my first wish list is to say that teachers need a safe place, a safe environment where they can improve their performance. They know how to do it, right? That space should help them reduce the burnout that they are facing. It is a lot. If I was to list to you what a teacher needs to do, especially a deputy head teacher or a deputy principal, you'll be shocked. Yeah, so that space should be able to, help them reduce the burnout. As a women really, bias organization, my wish list is that in these spaces there should be specific programs that are gender sensitive to the women and their children, because when you give birth many times and you can't take care of your kid, then you will stop teaching. One of the things we do is that we are actually providing breastfeeding and centers in schools where we have been given space. And this safe space actually should help teacher retention. No teacher likes being transferred from one school to another. That is a source of stress. And generally to protect the overall well-being of the teacher. And such spaces should be places where we get information so that we can develop policy. So that safe place, apart from the national center that we are looking at, should be in the staff room itself or in the school community. From our experience, teachers are now calling us because it means the awareness is actually working. We are being called by heads, please come and talk to my teachers. Please come and talk to my teachers. So this space should be in that environment. Like we used to have 4K clubs for agriculture. I mean, we should not be ashamed to have mental wellness clubs. And my clarion call is for teachers outside there. Do not let anybody make you hate a fellow teacher. These clubs are meant for you, will be good for you. Okay? And I think without appearing like I want to affect somebody's business, my greatest wish is for Aviator to disappear. There is, or
that is another problem.
Yeah, may I talk about the betting?
Yes,
the betting programs.
yes,
I don't know whether there are other betting, clubs or whatever they call them, that is taking away the dignity and the lives of teachers more than Aviator. Because you get your salary, you get your loan, you put. It has forced me to try and see what this Aviator does.
Did you try it?
I put 100 shillings and there's like a plane we just disappears.
It flew away the 100.
So, although I'm smiling, but I know that Aviator has cost. Aviator is one of them. And I'm speaking this openly, not to spoil the business of anybody, but to put, if the betting companies have a right and a license to be, to do their business, there must be some stopgap measures when you want to enter that program. There should be some questions they ask you, and they check whether you are able to withstand the pressure when you lose that money. So my wish list is a lot, but I am really also wishing that stakeholders can come on board, support this kind of initiatives that we have at Kenya Women Teachers Association. You see what he's also doing with the schools. If you have money that you want to help, see that your teacher is doing well, put it in programs like what we are talking about. Come and help us walk. On 25th, we are just having a walk, and it's a charitable walk. We're asking you to just buy a t-shirt for 1,000. So it is such things that will help us create that space for the teacher.
There's some questions that have come up, and I believe it's important that we give feedback with the kind of information that we've come and brought together on this table. So the first question is, what do I do when I feel completely burnt out, but I can't afford to take a break or leave work? I think we'll start with Dr. Nafula for that, and then Madam CEO can
Thank you for the good question. And I believe in schools, we have places we can walk, right? You can take time off and just go and have a walk around the school compound and just have a solitude moment within yourself.
Like meditate alone.
Yeah, meditate alone. When you feel like this is too much for me, you can just take a break, just go walk, or just go sit somewhere and just think about yourself, have a solitude moment, meditate, ask yourself the hard questions that you cannot ask anyone, and try and get answers within yourself.
like step out of that and
Just
then
step,
come back.
yeah,
and step
just
back
step
in.
out
Okay.
from that gives you the burnout.
Okay.
Yeah, burnout happens and it's a normal thing.
Okay.
You're not alone, you're not unique.
All right.
Yeah.
Thank you. I think many teachers do not take advantage of the provisions of the TSC code. Actually, if you look at the Teacher Service Commission code, it is very teacher friendly because there is a provision where if you're feeling burnout, just go to a medical practitioner and tell them this is what I'm going through. They'll write for you a letter and you're allowed to be away from the institution for 14 days. Full pay.
Nice.
So teachers need to read that code and to understand that there's something called compassionate leave. If you do not get well during that compassionate leave, there's still a provision. If the doctor certifies that your mental health is not good for the students, you're allowed to be away for 3 months on medical grounds.
Nice.
And you'll be paid.
Nice.
And it's even 6 months. The first 3 months you're paid full salary. The next 3 months you are paid half salary. If you don't improve, you can be discharged on medical grounds.
Wow.
So please let them take advantage of that if the environment in which they are is not friendly or it's the trigger. And for us as teacher supporters, we need to come up with programs that help teachers, relieve this pressure that they have. Like Water is already working on, and hopefully we'll get support from Safaricom, where we'll be having fun days, where we have sports, teachers can dance, there's a live band. We are human beings, just like you and her. Yes.
Okay. That's interesting. I think information is everything. Eh? We need to go out there purposefully looking for information that works for us.
They say information
Is power. Yes. Now, number 2, how do I manage anxiety and stress when my school has no counselor, like Mwalimu here, or mental health support? I think that would be...
Yeah. They usually say a problem shared is half solved, right? You need to establish a person that you can trust and just discuss whatever you feel with them. Not everyone you talk to can support you. There's some you'll go talk to them and then they will go behind your back and backbite you. You need to establish a support group that will favor you and just make you comfortable and speak out and share whatever you're going through. I know counseling might be expensive to some teachers, but when you have a support group, people you share the same problems, maybe the low pay, maybe your widows and your teachers, maybe your single mothers and your teachers. So you can just form a support group where you have a community where you can just air out your issues in a safe space, maybe a WhatsApp or a meeting that we'll be meeting every Saturday, and we'll be able to share whatever we have and just find solutions within ourselves.
A chai or a chama or something like that. Eh? The next question also falls for you. Eh? How can teachers protect their mental health when working in schools where there is little respect from the community or poor infrastructure?
Wow, that's a good question.
Yeah.
First of all, we've agreed a teacher is just like me and you. And self-awareness is key, right? When you know yourself, you know your triggers. Whatever the community says about you, you should come above all that and say, the most important person here is me. Whether my principal will say I'm being petty, whether my husband will say I'm being nagging, or my wife will say I'm being problematic, the most important person here is me. So prioritize yourself first. Despite all the challenges that you go through, it's you who comes first. Because if you allow other people to come and dictate your judgments and your decisions, then it means you're lacking boundaries. We should be able to have very strong boundaries and know how far can I get. It's good to be a teacher. You're there to give knowledge. You're there to care for others. But who is caring about you? Who is caring for you? So be your number one fan. Despite all that, despite being a teacher, despite being a counselor in school, despite being a mother, despite being a sister, put boundaries that support you as a person and give yourself the first priority in all this that you're doing.
So you're telling teachers they should be the number one supporters to protect their mental wealth.
Yes, yes, you'll be the
Yeah,
best
and,
teacher, you'll be the best parent, but at the end of it all, you're your number one phantom.
Okay.
and as the question asks about respect, I just need to remind the teachers so that respect is not given, it's earned. So as you work on yourself, as you craft yourself into the best version of yourself, remember it's how you conduct yourself that gives you that respect, that makes you look different, so that the respect will be given to you.
Okay.
What was the question again?
How do you protect your mental health?
Yes, yes.
If you're in a place where you're not getting respect from the community, or there's poor infrastructure. Yeah. So now the next one is actually yours. How do you stay motivated when the pay is low, promotions are irregular, and you feel invisible in the system? Which I think is it's an everyday thing for,
Before I answer that question, we need to know that all of us here, for one reason or another, or in one way or the other, we have a small degree of that problem.
Yeah, feeling
and so when you're
unappreciated,
answering that question, I think we should be looking at ourselves as how do I manage it? Because when you're feeling that you're not motivated, just for me, I would encourage teachers to get involved in social activities, especially when you're giving to the community. You get into exercise, and because motivation must come from within. Yeah, so listen to podcasts and do something that makes you happy within the confines of your time. Yeah, just the second part was
when you feel invisible to the system.
Yes, always. I had a teacher, a chemistry teacher, when I was in Kenya High. He was a Ugandan, and I was very good in chemistry. But every time I dropped, even with the 2 points, he would really write bad notes on my report. And then I went quiet, I went mute, and so I kept quiet, and I felt so invisible. And the teacher himself realized that maybe he would have done some damage to me. And he told me, Benta, next time I want to hear that you've broken a window.
The next one.
Yes. So
react.
So the point is, break a window. I mean, as in break a window. When you are feeling invisible, do something that will make people realize that you are there. And this thing you're going to do is supposed to solve a problem. There are problems everywhere. So as a teacher, if you're feeling invisible, look for that gap that you can occupy and make somebody's life different. When you do that, even silently, you will be speaking very loudly. Yeah, because it is very easy actually to feel invisible when you get into some staff rooms and even any other working environment. There are people who normally think they own that space. And if you are not careful, you can find yourself down there. So just encourage them that do something that will make the organization or your staff room feel your presence in a positive way.
Get your own window.
Yeah, get a window and break.
And break it.
Yes.
The next one is also yours. Is there any hope that teacher mental wellness will be considered a valid reason for lighter duties, transfer, or time off?
Exactly. So that one is basically an issue of terms and conditions of service, which is the prerogative of our trade unions. What we are doing right now with all the programs that we have, we are already writing a memorandum to Teacher Service Commission and giving it to all the unions, because in June, I think June or July, they are signing a new collective bargain agreement. And so our proposals we are sending to them, because that's all we can do. We send to them and ask them, ensure that you infuse these things in the collective bargain agreement, because that is what the law is in terms of issues of terms and conditions of service. When does a teacher get light duty? It must be in that CBA. So that is the support we can give our unions. We shall be writing our proposal with a gender lens, of course, and asking them, please ensure that this, and we'll give them solutions on how to get there. And so there is hope. If we get many other institutions who can then give proposals to this new collective bargain agreement that is going to be signed, teachers should be ready for something better or a better working environment. Thank you.
That is really nice.
Yes.
Now, men.
Yes, men.
Many teachers, men,
Yes, men teachers.
fear speaking. You know, you're really representing, at least with you, it was not
Yes,
just a
I'm really
panel of women.
representing, yeah.
So it's nice also for teachers, you know, they also have men teachers who have
Yeah,
issues. So
for
it's
sure.
nice that, you know, you're in this conversation. Many teachers, men, fear speaking up about mental struggles because they'll be labeled as weak. How do we deal with that stigma?
Wow. First things first. I'll say this to all men teachers, as just put it, that there's no shame in seeking help. I think the CEO has said that as they put across the issue, they're trying also to look at gender-based areas where they can be able to provide gender-based solutions to the female teachers. And I think as they provide support to the female teachers, they won't forget the male teacher. Men should stop worrying about the stigma. They need to realize that at the end of the day, you are the best version of yourself, and nobody creates that version for you. So they need to look beyond the stigma issues. I believe with professional help and professional counseling, they're not the kind of counselors who will go about and saying that this and this came to look for help from me. So please capitalize on professional counseling. And if you can't really capitalize on professional counseling, get that one person you can trust, a person who can work with you, a person who can hold your hand and as you navigate through your mental health issues. And there's no shame in seeking help for any gender.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you for that. Now, the last two questions actually directed at you. I'll try and put them together because the first question is, what real steps is Kyoto taking to push the government and TSC to prioritize teacher mental wellness? And I think it will mash nicely with, will the proposed Keopa Mental Wellness Center offer? What kind of services are they going to offer? Are they going to be free? Are they going to be subsidized? Are they going to be for all teachers? And as in, when it comes to the 47 counties, how are you going to deal with that?
Okay, thank you very much. I will address that question starting from the last.
Okay.
Or let me start from there. What steps are we taking?
Yeah.
The first step was, first of all, to come up with this awareness creation program, which is doing very well.
Okay.
We now have people accepting that teachers are actually human beings, and they also are suffering from the mental challenges like everybody else. Then I have said the second one is that we are going to be having a station, an online station, and we also a toll-free center, a toll-free number, which actually was confirmed today. We're going to have a toll-free number where teachers can call, and we want to assure them that there will be professionals behind that program that will be talking to them. Many professionals, even from this place, have said they are willing to volunteer. Remember the doctor, they are volunteer to do this work, basically just because everybody has a teacher to thank for where they are. And then our long-term goal, of course, is to put this institution in place. And we can't do it alone because we have written to the Ministry of Public Works and the estimate for this institution is 400 million.
Wow.
If we believe in going to heaven, this is also achievable.
Yes, it is.
And with the support with the local and international communities, let's come together in whatever way that you want to support. Let this institution be there. That will help me answer your last question. You as a corporate, you as an individual, as a politician, why should you be interested in this, in supporting this initiative? Because a teacher will walk into this institution, they are registered, then there's an assessment done. There will be different departments. If there's a marital problem, they will go there. Financial problem, is it ill health? Is it trauma?
Suicidal.
Is it communicable diseases? If it is a communicable disease, because some teachers are committing suicide just because they discover they are HIV positive. Something as simple as that.
Even cancer.
Or even cancer. So if it is a communicable disease, we have in our proposal the creation of a clinic. This clinic will be open to the public because it is the only self-sustaining program that we shall have. So even you can come to the clinic if you have a problem. both communicable and non-communicable diseases like stress, anxiety, and all those things. There will be a subsidized fees for our member, but most of the treatment will be free for them. But for people who are coming from outside, they'll have to pay because of the quality of the services that we shall be providing. That will help us that is our sustainable program for the institution. And we will have a social, because we have interacted with the teachers. Some of them just say, when are you people putting that? I just want to come and stay there for 3 days. You see something else. So there'll be a social center where they can just come and relax. There are other things that, of course, we will now, not immediate, but we'll have a sports center where if you come and we see that we need to withhold you there for 4 days or 1 week, there should be a place where people can be booked in. Professionals come to see them, even just for them to just go for swimming or basketball. It's really huge, but remember I told you we believe in going to heaven. So that for some people they think it is not possible, but we know Elijah went. So so basically those are the practical steps. They are really, really practical. And many institutions, including where we are right now, are waiting for us to do that. We are looking for institutions also, if the case is so bad that we can't wait, we can, if we get support from donors, we can take the teacher and register them here so that they get help. So the solutions we have are really practical, and we are really going to ensure that this thing works. Yes. So for people who have been asking, oh, you held a walk last year, what happened? There are a lot of infrastructural things we have done with the finances that we got. We are getting the drawings, we have identified the land, and it is actually going to work. So come one, come all.
Just to add on what you've said, we are here at Entim Sidai Wellness Sanctuary, and it's a one-stop shop. When I say one-stop shop, we have accommodation, we have a wellness clinic, we have a medical doctor and a nurse and a counseling psychologist. We have a restaurant where you can come and eat. We have a spa, a very fully fledged spa, and we also have a very beautiful forest where you can just come and walk down the forest and
scream if you want.
And by the time you leave this place, you live like a person who is just been rejuvenated and motivated to work more. So I encourage the teachers to form groups and come, and we can give them a subsidized package for accommodation to stay here for my wellness.
There you go.
For wellness.
Tempting.
All right. So there you go. Thank you very much for everybody who's been here. Thank you, Madam CEO. Thank you, Mwalimu. Thank you, Daktari. And thank you for me. It is really nice to engage on such issues, because when you think about our teachers, the people who brought us and who have made us come this far, and it's something we actually don't take seriously. It's like we take it for granted. I had a teacher. Nobody knows where do we know where the teachers are. But the time is now. Please come one, come all on 24th and 25th. If you need to give us funding, if you need for us to go to heaven and get us windows to break our own windows, please let us come together and support our teachers. Every information you need is on www.kwater.co.ke. You can buy a t-shirt, you can buy a cup, you can send some money, there's no limitation to what you can do for us, because this is a dream and it takes a community for this dream to be achieved. Because if our teachers are not okay, what kind of children are we going to have? They need to be okay for that they can be able to bring up good children. So let us come out there, go into our socials, let us go into FB, Instagram, LinkedIn, and on those 2 days, come, let's network, let's walk, let's go out there and let's make money, and let's improve our teachers' mental wellness. Thank you very much.